Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would show you the two items I've bought from this year's spring collection from Guerlain, which I believe is called the Happy Glow collection. I think there are going to be two spring collections from Guerlain this season, this one and Petit Robe Noir collection of polishes and I think lip products. But this Happy Glow collection is specifically to celebrate 30 years of Meteorite powders. And in addition to these two products, there are also two limited edition lipsticks in the Kiss Kiss formulation, which is a nice formulation. Two very pretty pinks, but nothing spectacular, although I do like Guerlain lipsticks. I decided to go for the Meteorites. As you know, I am a moderate fan of Meteorites. I have quite a collection, probably about 7 or 8. I've had others over the years and used or got rid of them. I don't use them every day. I'm a bit sceptical, although I do like them, about how obvious or amazing they look on the skin. People swear they have a really blurring and brightening effect. I'm not sure it's anything other than very, very subtle indeed. So you might ask why I'm such a fan. I just think they're a really luxurious product to use. I don't really need a setting powder, so any powder I'm using nowadays is just really a brightening powder, and so on days when my skin is very dull, then I'm liable to use something a bit more how should we say, startlingly obvious than Meteorites. So I like Hourglass, and I like some of the Dior and highlighter products actually used as an all-over finishing powder. But on other days when I can go for a more subtle look, I do think these are really, really pretty, and they're beautiful to use. They smell of the kind of famous Guerlain Meteorite violety, sweet smell. It isn't everybody's cup of tea, but I really like it. And they're just, so beautifully presented. So this 30th anniversary edition, they've gone back to the globe shape, containing 30 grams of product. 2 years ago at Christmas, they had this globe shape, and that was the first time I remember it. I actually prefer that one slightly to this spring one, because it has this beautiful gold lid under the kind of translucent bit, which is really, really pretty. But overall, that it's a beautiful kind of tactile, quite modern, futuristic packaging, and it's just a kind of pearlized with kind of lilac pink and then red lettering. Screw top. Gone back to the little puff, which is really nice. You know that I was critical they didn't have a puff in this year's Christmas edition, which was this one from the I can't even remember what it was called, the range, but the Shalimar range was the kind of more usual tin packaging. But what I didn't love was the fact they just had an ordinary bit of foam in the top, which I didn't think was very luxurious given the price. These are about getting up for £50. Anyway, so little puff with this one, and then the pearls are lilac white, pink, and a very light gold. It's kind of medium toned, colour correcting. I will say some of the descriptions I've read say there are green pearls. I don't see any in my collection, and there aren't that many of them. We seem to be getting less and less product. I've got a standard little Guerlain brush here. What I will say of this collection is it feels a bit more powdery. I don't know if you can see, it's throwing up a bit of powder there, and it's a bit more obvious on the brush. I mean, you really don't see anything when it's rubbed on the skin. I suppose if we take an individual pearl, you can see a bit more obviously there. That's the white one, the colour correcting lilac, the pearlized pink. I'm not sure I can get anything from the little gold ones. But overall, the product does feel a bit more powdery, a bit more talky, if I'm honest. And I can see how if you were packing it on with a stiff brush and were darker complexion, this might look a bit chalky. But overall, I quite like this one. It's not my favourite. I thought I would just show you, remind you of my favourite. This one is the Pearl du Dragon. It's about 4 or 5 years ago now. Another of the foam top ones, which I don't love. I mean, look how much more product you've got in those days. And this is a bit warmer toned, and I just find, again, I don't think it's going to show. This one, of course, looks a bit powdery on the skin. It just gives, definitely, to me, a bit more of a glow that's flattering for my complexion. So, I mean, that one's my all-time favourite. And you can see how long they last. You know, I've had that definitely 4 or 5 years. Worn it quite a lot, still going strong. But I do like this one, and if you're a collector, you're going to want to get it. There is a limited edition little pink brush as well, which is quite fun, but they're pricey products, so I passed that. And then the other item was the Happy Glow blush, and I've not really bought many Guerlain blushes over the years. This surprised me. I bought it sight unseen off the internet. It's a lot smaller than I expected. I suppose I'm used to their bronzers, which kind of like out here, size-wise. How much product do you get? 7.5 grams, so it's really not much. Again, it's the matching kind of pearlized white. It feels very nice and tactile, not stunning to look at. And oddly, although they've gone for the red lettering on the meteorites, this is just engraved. Anyway, there we go. Inside, I don't know if you can see that, it's this kind of pressed meteorites blush. Now, I've seen some not particularly flattering reviews of this, saying it's poorly pigmented and doesn't last. Now, I agree that doesn't look particularly densely pigmented, and I'm giving it a good press there on my hand, albeit the light isn't great today. But I have to say, when I apply it to the cheeks, I was fairly shocked at how pigmented it appeared. I applied it with my usual semi-stiff MAC angled blush brush, and I really had to blend it out because I'd kind of gone in with too much. And actually now I've been using the much softer Shiseizo to powder it. You see, it's not showing on the hand, but I promise you, on my fair complexion, it's a really pretty rosy glow. So I'm quite pleased with it. The last is not brilliant, but it's not bad. It's kind of up there with, you know, standard blushes. I don't find Chanel, which I like, lasts particularly well, partly because I think, you know, powder blushes just don't last as long as cream or liquid blushes, but I do like using them. The other nice thing, if you like the meteorite smell, this one has it. So I'm quite pleased with this. It's a very, very spring-like colour. It's just really pretty to look at. It's a pretty girly pink glow. What can I say? Is it worth the money? Would help if I could tell you how much this cost. It wasn't cheap. I'm going to say about £40. So possibly not worth that. You might want to spend that on the much more densely pigmented and more product in a Tom Ford blush, although they're a bit more expensive. You're undoubtedly getting a lot more product, but I'm quite pleased with that one. So overall, they're a kind of thumbs up from me, both items. Not absolutely love, 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 but pretty, very wearable, very spring-like, and yeah, just very luxurious to use. So I will be showing you some Dior soon, some Tom Ford soon. They're all coming out. Until next time, bye for now.